Come on, change colors, damn it.
I've got to stop doing posts. We're all sorts of skippy again. If you'd like to donate to the blanket fort, donate here. Maybe we can pay off Fred's alcohol bill and get him to bother somebody else.
Yeah. In addition to the fact it's friggin' 31 degrees
no
right
kidding.
now.
If you like coffee, King Harvest, let them know you heard about it from us. So maybe they'll send us more coffee.
Yes, please.
Among the Leaves tees. It's not t-shirt weather, but what the heck? He has part-ass t-shirts. Let them know you heard about it from us. I've got to stop doing political posts on Substack. I really do.
Well, in good news, Alma Boykin has another book out called Threads of Empire. It's book 10 in our Merchant and Empire series. I was very happy to be a beta reader on that one. And it is a good book. It gets into depth on spinning, weaving, and making things out of cloth. And making cloth too. So, well worth it. It's a good read. Interesting characters as always. Kind of an update. Some of you might have seen it with my MRI or lack thereof. The VA, in their infinite wisdom, I'm dealing with what's called community care, which are the people that outsource the VA to the civilian community.
Yay!
So I have multiple issues with my back, not the least of which is a pinched sciatic nerve. It's now been over 2 months. I was submitted for an MRI on the 17th of January by my primary care provider. Community care disallowed it on January the 19th because, according to the records they were looking at, I had not had a x-ray in a year, nor had I had a CAT scan or anything else. They didn't bother to tell anybody.
Of course not. That would be efficient.
Yeah. So
I can't wait for Doge to hit the Veterans Administration.
Yeah, well, that's coming.
That's going to be so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the roaches take off at Olympic sprinting levels is going to be fun.
So I sent an email and I made a phone call. And my primary care provider called me back and said, I don't know what happened because I've looked at your records here and all that stuff is there. So she resubmitted it. And we'll see what happens again.
The VA giving veterans a second chance to die for their country.
Yep. Yeah, Jesse, 150-year-old Social Security recipients. That was a good one.
So let's see. I'm headed to Dallas tomorrow to link up for FinCon.
I'm headed down after lunch.
He's headed down with a quickness. If y'all are listening to this and you're within driving distance of a couple hours of DFW, you might consider going by. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
Yes, Rick, you are correct. Japanese handle death a little differently than Americans do. The centenarians over there had died, but they had never been reported as dead.
Yeah.
So make of it what you will. Yeah. VA said you didn't qualify for services due to your salary. Yeah, that's, I think, happened to a few people. It also depends on the level of your disability. Ouch. So take that for what it's worth. Yeah, DA, Truman collided with a bulk carrier called the MV Besiktas, just north of Fort Said.
Bonk.
Yeah. So
I don't
there
recall.
are a lot of questions because in Fort Said, which is a port. They should have had port pilots on board to.
Was it in Port Said or north of Port Said?
It was right at Port Said.
Was it?
Yeah. So it was in the approaches.
Port Said's a nice little port.
Yeah.
Says the landlubber. I don't remember the Navy having this many bonks when back in the 80s.
No.
Okay.
People were, shall we say, less inclined to promote or to provoke us back then.
How much of it recently is provoking? How much of it is no?
Yeah, I think there's part of that too.
Okay.
Or if his same port pilot got that ship hung in Suez a few years ago.
Ooh,
In the Suez Canal, yeah.
ooh, that was fun.
Yeah, that
I'd like to return my subscription of Interesting Times magazine, please.
well, you got to understand, folks, when you're trying to drive a ship, it's not like driving a car. First of all. Secondly, you're not actually driving. You're telling the helmsman what to do.
I was Army.
So you see a problem developing and you tell the helmsman, alter your course 5 degrees left. He has to reply back and say, alter your course 5 degrees left, aye. And then he makes the turn, hopefully in the left direction, not the right direction. You also have the power issue. How much power do you add or take off? And what you do on a ship is you make turns for X number of knots. So the call would be make turns for 70 RPM. Okay, that might equate to 10 knots. Now, the problem is the carriers like the Evergreen that got crossways in the Suez are fairly large, they're fairly tall, and they're fairly long. There's this thing called freeboard. Basically, you become a weather vane if the wind hits you. How fast can you counter that wind direction? That's what happened with the Evergreen getting sideways. The pilot that was on board did not know enough to react fast enough to keep the boat in the channel. Because, yeah, the Suez is not that wide anyway.
Oh no, it was apparently just a good healthy spit.
Yeah.
From land to the.
But the
the
center
boat.
of the channel is the only deep part. So it's even more restrictive. And he got behind the boat and, yeah, as Nancy says, lots of freeboard, there's lots of sail area. He got behind the boat. And when that happens, you're screwed. Because any boat, from a rowboat to a carrier, does not stop on a dime. When they did the crashbacks, when they were testing the Enterprise, from full speed to a dead stop in the water took, I believe, 10 miles to stop.
Rick says, Ian, you told your driver what to do. Pretty similar. No, I trust my driver. Yeah, when I said go that way, he went around trees. And also, I have bounced a rock off my driver's helmet more than once. Wham! What, Sarge?
Yeah, Richard, you can also get that when you're driving a tall vehicle or when you're towing a trailer or a camper. There are plenty of videos of that, watching the campers
Oh, yeah.
wobbling down the road.
Tired camper lays over to rest.
Yeah.
Yes. We hit Cowhouse Creek Bridge going faster than I told him to. And I was,
Did you launch?
no, I didn't launch. I looked up at a wave of water.
Yeah.
And I've never had to bail a Bradley before. And I bounced a wrench off my driver's helmet. And he hit the next creek at a more reasonable speed.
Yeah, Rick says on a submarine, the helmsman can't even see the ocean, even when we're on the surface. Yeah. You're driving by periscope or sonar or both. Family of trucks all having a lay down by that highway. Yep. No bilge pumps and armor. Nope.
No, there were two hatches open, mine and the driver's hatch.
Yeah.
And he hit Cowhouse Creek going a lot faster than he should have.
So
Like
he
I said,
got real wet.
we all got wet.
Yeah.
Looked up at a wave of water.
Yeah, RK, that's y'all are smart. She says their 36-foot RV that they own goes very slowly in the plains crosswinds. Yes.
Robert Cruz says, judging by the lag, I see Frank and the boys are partying. Like I got stupid and posted another political post on Substack. So we've got a passel of agents watching us again.
Yeah, Rick. The OOD just calls down the helm commands like he was still in the control room, which is true. It's because you're up on the sail. I actually got to drive a submarine once from the bridge, from the sail, going up the Cooper River, because the poor submariner ensign could not get the set and drift right with the current in the Cooper River, which is about 4.5 or 5 knots. And you have these things called range marks, and you want to keep them lined up. And he kept drifting to one side out of the channel. And Captain Thomas was a little bit irked. That was putting it mildly. And we were making 15 knots coming up the river. And he looked at this ensign and he says, I bet this damn Airedale can drive the boat better than you can. And he says, Lieutenant, you got it. What? What do you mean? What do you mean? I got it. You're now the OOD. Get us up the river. Okay. Range marks. I know what they are. I know how they're used. And for those of you that have ever gone under the Cooper River Bridge, there's an island off to the right. And this damn Chris Craft comes out from behind the island and starts cutting across the river. And I look back at the skipper and I said, sir, I think we got a problem here. Because the only thing we had out of water was a sail and maybe 8 feet of the submarine. Mm-hmm. And he told me, he says, call down and make your depth X. So I did that. And all of a sudden now there's about 80 feet of the submarine out of the water. And that Chris Craft turned around and went back behind the island.
At least somebody was paying attention.
Rick, the captain had just relieved, the CO of the boat had been relieved for cause. He was the chief of staff at the Subron, and it had to come out and run an operation that he didn't plan on doing with a bunch of Airedales on board, including me. And he was not a happy camper. So, but I got along with him. Yeah, everybody's getting lagging.
Sorry.
Yeah, the Chris Craft driver was an idiot. He obviously thought we were going a lot slower than we actually were.
I've been considering, I actually, don't be shocked. I actually have an X account, Twitter account, Twix account, whatever. I have a Twix account. I've been considering putting up, linking my political Substacks up there.
Yeah.
I don't want the headache.
Why not?
No, I'm good. Hell, Elon Musk is liable to read them, then I'll really be screwed.
Well, he's too busy right now.
Yeah.
Apparently, it doesn't stop him from trolling people on Twix.
Yeah.
That man's Trump.
Yeah. Rick,
Do him and Trump ever sleep?
Apparently not. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. The we call it the law of gross tonnage, but the right of weight always wins the rules of the road. Yes.
Us landlubbers call it the rule of lug nuts.
Yeah.
The vehicle with the most lug nuts gets the right of way.
Yeah. Oh,
Apparently, people know I've got one. Holy
Yeah.
crap, people!
Frank's liquor ration got cut when USA got hamstrung.
I wish Racketeer Press had got some USAID before Elon thumped it. That would have been nice.
Now, people know you've got a Twitter account.
I haven't been on my Twitter account in years.
Yeah.
At least a couple.
Jump back on. What the hell?
No.
Just one more thing to tie you up.
Like I got time to do what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Been supposed to back to poetry posts. I don't have time to read poetry.
Yeah. Yeah. Elon starting to post under Harry Balls was fun.
Making the CNN say that, making the CNN reporter say that was glorious.
Yeah.
Just glorious.
Yeah, you forget. We'll read anything.
Gum wrappers.
Yeah.
No, I did. I'm trying not to do political posts on Substack. Because political posts are polarizing. They really are. I'm trying not to do them.
Here we go.
But every once in a while, a political critter will say something that just, and I've got to talk about it. So I've had two back-to-back posts. One about, and the latest one was Chuck Schumer running his word hole. Quoted in front of a camera, "We know there's waste, but don't use a meat axe." Well,
Hey,
if
Tiffany.
he'd done his damn job back in 1999 or 2007 or 2011, then a meat axe wouldn't have been needed. But he spent 25 years ignoring the problem. And people need to know this.
Well, they know it. They just don't want to admit it. Yeah, Alan, some of the lug nuts on the trucks these days look like the Roman chariots.
Dangerous.
Yeah, 6-inch friggin' spikes.
Sticking out. They look dangerous. Oh, Tiffany's on here. Hey, Tiffany.
Yeah, I finished up. I was bored, couldn't go to sleep last night. Finished up Giant Squeaking Robots. That was good.
Tiff did a good job.
Yeah. You did a good job, lady. Yeah, I'm with you, Kermit. I want to see the friggin' chainsaw. It just, the shit's gone on for so long that,
When
when you're hiding, as Ted said earlier, when you're hiding $20 million in a bank,
Billion.
or $20 billion in a bank. If a company had done that, they would be under the jail.
Yeah.
No question.
Yep.
And this was we just, we had to spend everything. That's part of the problem with the government. 16 years functionally unchecked at a minimum. Yeah.
the federal debt was $5 trillion when Chuck Schumer was voted in the Senate.
Yeah.
It's now $33 trillion.
34.
34. Well, no, when he got reelected, it was 33. So I checked every year he got elected what the budget was, what the government debt was. It went from it was $5 trillion the first year he got embedded like a tick in the Senate. And then the last time he was reelected, it was 33. Now it's 34 or 35.
Yeah, well, it's 34 and going up.
If he had done his damn job, they could have used his scalpel and trimmed some of the fat because he was lazy and cowardless. He was a coward. He was a moral schmuck. He has all the ethical bearing of a windsock. And now he's, we know that there's waste, but don't take a meat axe to it, but do your damn job.
Well, it's kind of like what the media is whining and crying about all the aid that is sitting in various countries it's going to rot away. It's
good. Don't care.
Well, there's a problem with that. USA doesn't send stuff that rots.
No.
It sends wheat, it sends beans, it sends flour. That stuff will last for years. But what they're doing is they're throwing shit at the wall to see what's going to stick. And if they can get another crying mother, oh my God, they're going to kill my children.
No, you are.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a staple gun. And I used to have, I used to buy these little pocket constitutions, and I buy them by the 500. I get a little box of 500 pocket constitutions, the little bitty pocket constitutions. I used to hand them out because people are stupid. So I'm going to get a staple gun, and I'm going to run around major media offices. And every time somebody says unconstitutional, I'm going to take a copy of my pocket constitution, put it on their forehead, smack. Because, oh my God, what the president do is unconstitutional. Show me.
Yeah.
Show me. Show me where it violates the Constitution, please.
Yeah. That's one of the things that's coming up with all these judicial
Oh, talk about unconstitutional.
activists. Yeah. What they're doing is unconstitutional.
Well, what they're doing, it's always unconstitutional is debatable. I think I'm with Jim. I think it's unconstitutional, but it is debatable. There's a judicial canon of ethics.
Yeah.
And so far, at least two of them are not only violating the judicial canon of ethics,
Yes.
they're bending it over a stump and going in dry. Because the judicial canon of ethics says you cannot take on a case if your wife is a recipient of money or your daughter works for the agency. Judicial canon of ethics says nay, nay, nay. At least two of them.
Well, the other thing at a more serious and higher level are the ones that are taking these cases to shut down Trump. Well, when you go look up who they are, they're all Democratic funded. They're hardcore Democrat, hardcore leftist themselves. Most of them appointed by either Obama or Biden. And what the lawfare people are doing is they're judge shopping this
They're
stuff.
picking and choosing judges.
So they're going to go file it in a place where they have the best chance of getting what they want, at least temporarily. Now, when it gets to the Ninth Circus, sometimes they're going to overthrow it. Most of the time, they're going to let it stand because it's the Ninth Circus.
Well, that New York, so far, they're not doing any in Ninth Circuit, are they?
Yeah.
I thought it was New York was where they were.
Now they're doing some in the Ninth Circus too. But first circuit is not as responsive. And that's why the one judge that had the freeze order on Trump all of a sudden reversed himself today because he looked at where it was going to go next, which is First Circuit, and went, oh, they'd overturn that in a heartbeat. So he made it go away.
Just it's unconstitutional. Thwack.
RK, they don't care. All they're trying to do is get the media to put out that they had a judge that shut everything down. That's their goal. They can care less about whether or not it's actually going to hold.
When I was on patrol, that box of pocket constitutions, I used to put about 5 in my uniform pocket. And sure enough, and I've actually hit a couple of lawyers with them. That violates Constitution. Show me.
Yeah, Steve,
What's this?
that's an excellent point. He says, I read the reason was so that even if they lost, they would still give the swamp dwellers trying to cover up their tracks. Yep.
Well, that's an issue. Is there's track covering.
Yeah.
You can cover tracks, but when it's a herd of elephants,
yeah,
loaded down with multiple billions of dollars of weight, those tracks don't get covered real well.
Yeah. And Trump has got people clawing back money, which has never really been done. It's been tried. No.
Christy Nolan clawed back how much from New York City? Oh my God, the screaming was glorious.
54 million, I think. 54,
like
59 million, something like that.
Apparently, I may be wrong on this, but if I remember the quote right, um, FEMA was spending $5 a head a day for high-end hotels for immigrants.
No, it's more than that.
14,000 a day. Wasn't it?
Yeah, it's 14,000 a day.
1,400. Something. It was ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
I think it was 1,400 a day per
I must have misread that.
illegal.
I must have misread that.
You can get much better rates at the Hilton Hilton
Yeah.
Village at Waikiki.
Yes,
You get a hell of a lot better rates at the No-Tell Motel down here on Scott Street.
but at the same time, they were giving $750 to the people in North Carolina and saying, "Oh, by the way, it's a check, and we'll get it to you, and good luck cashing it."
Oh, for $5 per person in New York per day. Thank you, Jesse. I'm just
Now that's not enough, Jesse. You're missing something.
no
Per person.
per,
That's 8
per
million
inhabitant of
Oh,
People. Yeah, if you spread it out over
over
8 million people.
yeah, the 8 million people, $5 is $40 million.
double hotels rack rate and 100% occupancy for illegals. Yep.
I just and like I've been saying, getting a lot of traction, is if Congress had done its job, they could have taken a scalpel
Yeah.
30 years ago, and it would have hurt a bit, but they could have fixed this 30, 35 years ago.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They were moral cowards, and Congress has abdicated so much stuff. I don't know why we have a Congress, because they've abdicated making law in favor of rules on from unelected bureaucrats.
Yep.
They've abdicated making laws in favor of judicial activism. They've abdicated everything because they're cowards. And oh my God, I can't do anything that might cut off the money flow to my pension.
Oh, Steve, I didn't realize that 750 was not a grant. It was a loan you had to pay back. Damn. Yeah, the repairs for the hotels.
Yeah, no kidding.
There was one hotel that was back in the day upscale in Los Angeles that they put migrants in, and they destroyed the hotel. The hotel has been torn down because it could not be repaired.
Well, there's a
When they're taking a dump in the elevator,
Yeah.
or they're taking a dump in the hallway.
and trust me, having lived overseas,
Yeah.
that doesn't surprise me. Saudi Arabia spent a crap ton of money, but they had it. We don't, but Saudi Arabia's got a crap ton of money.
Yeah.
To build these lovely housing areas for their Bedouin.
Yeah.
Bedouin. They're Bedouin. For their Bedou, so that they could, they built these lovely cottages with pools, so that the Bedou could stop roaming the waste or whatever. So what the Bedou do? They watered their camels in the pools until they drained the pools, and they cooked over fires in living rooms and used the front porches as a bathroom. Ruined the whole thing, and then went back when everything was unlivable. Went back to the desert.
And everybody thinks that they are so neat with their white robes and everything else. Trust me, folks, you do not want to be downwind of a Bedou.
No. Nope.
They might bathe twice a year, maybe,
Don't get me to line. I don't like Bedou. So
when
there
it
you go.
rains, if then.
I don't like Bedou. So there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
So
Sarah says they applied for the 750. We're told they had insurance. Never mind. Yeah.
well, whole bunch of lights being shined. A whole bunch of roaches are taking off.
Yeah.
And it's glorious. It is truly glorious.
Rick, if I remember correctly, the Hajj tents at Mecca, they just take them out and burn them.
Yeah.
They don't even bother trying to clean them. There is a celebration going on in India.
Ooh, there's another one.
Yeah, where they're supposed to have 420 million people show up for this celebration.
It's a lot of
It's
people
the
breathing my air.
confluence of the Ganges and another river.
It's a lot of people breathing my air.
Yeah. And it's going on now from what I remember. But I just cannot imagine 420 million people showing up for a celebration and bathing in the Ganges because that's the,
Ganges is not a.
yeah.
What new plague are we going to slip up now?
Yeah.
Woohoo! I'm a country boy. 420 million people in my zip code. Just really, I can't do it.
Oh, Tiffany, really?
Today's the 13th. What?
Gave her a pudding cup that went out of date on the 6th.
Oh, no.
Oh, you got to be kidding me, James. He says, I found out, according to Jan Schakowsky,
Representative Jan Schakowsky.
His degree in manufacturing engineering tech is sexist because it has man in it.
Dear Representative Schakowsky, you have failed the test. You're fired.
Robert says the Ganges is worse than Honk and Moore Park rivers combined. Yes.
Oh, she's getting another pudding cup. Good.
Just right back to your representative. Madam Representative, watch your head explode.
Well, it's like that one representative that was concerned that Guam was going to flip over. We put more Marines on it. Dear Representative Hank, you have flunked the NERT test. You're fired.
I gotta tell you this, and this is friggin' hilarious. I just got a text. I don't know how many other people are getting random texts from all over. Learn 3 amazing ways IRS can now wipe out your tax debt within 24 hours. Get a free consultation and investigation. Don't miss out. Call us now. No.
How do you spell NERT? You just did.
Yeah.
I was actually told because that this is not a new thing for me. Going NERT is it's not a new thing for me, and I have been told multiple times that I should stop. Sorry.
Oh. White robes cover a multitude of sins.
Yeah.
Like your action seeing a sheep or a goat. Yeah. Yeah, the Ganges is nasty.
I'm here to tell you, folks. I hate to break the news to you, but third world rivers are not great places to be.
No.
I actually wound up having a multi-spectrum antibiotic and a gamma globulin shot because I fell in the Horry River one time. Well, they fished me out and took me to the doctor, and I got as Tiffany, I got Jello pudding cups jammed in my butt because the Horry River was it. Anybody been to Lagos before? Have you seen pictures of Lagos? You can smell Lagos from the pictures. There's a city or town or something. There's a floating conglomeration of people in the center of a bay off Lagos, and everybody thinks Lagos. Yeah, Lagos. It's not like it's Lagos. Everybody thinks, oh, what a romantic place to go to.
No.
No. That floating city is a great place to. The most healthy thing that'll happen to you is getting shanked in the kidney.
Yeah.
You will come out of that with liver flukes that will have parasites. Just don't go.
Doug, there's a reason it's called a shit river in Alongabo because that's what it is. And those kids will dive in to get their pesos.
Yeah. It's a third world country. Stay out of water.
Yeah. The cleanest I've ever seen was in Diego Garcia because there was nobody down there. Of course,
Diego Garcia has water. A river?
No.
Oh, okay.
But there and Truck was the cleanest water, ocean water I've ever seen.
I've seen some.
And it was like being in bath water. It was 88, 89 degree water.
I've seen some Mediterranean water. It was glorious.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be. The Mediterranean water shouldn't be that pretty. And it's of course, half of the countries around the Mediterranean are not third world,
Yeah.
which might have a thing to do with it. But no, it's one of those things that, I see that these young kids. I want to go visit the floating city in Lagos. Your parasites are going to have parasites.
Yeah.
I just want you to know this. And then they're going to shank you for your passport.
Oh, Padre, I did not see that. People in Sweden are starting to put bacon in Qurans.
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah.
The religion of peace that's invading Europe are getting stupid. There was an Afghan refugee drove his what the hell ever through a crowd of people in Germany last night.
Yeah. Protesting. Oh, Tiffany got her a non-expired chocolate pudding.
Woohoo! Padre grew up swimming third world rivers. Immune system very strong. Yeah. I grew up in most of Africa. My immune system attacked squirrels in the backyard.
Yeah.
Yes, Nancy brings up a good point. Mel Gibson is developing a limited run series about the Great Siege of Malta. Squee! Gonna squee just a bit about that.
Damn, Tiffany, you got a horse pill and then some. She said it was so I could eat a gigantic pill that I couldn't swallow, crushed up in my pudding. Yeah. When you're getting horse pills, not everybody can swallow those damn things.
Well, also, having been in the ICU more than once, when they bring you the big pill and you ask, how am I going to swallow that? And they say, oh, don't worry about it. Start worrying.
Yeah. Because you're not going to have to swallow it.
Oh,
When they did my nose and throat surgery, I got a horse pill the next morning as my wake-up call at 4 o'clock in the morning.
nothing like getting woken up at 4:30 for a suppository.
Yeah. And she was good enough to bring breakfast. So
I thought it was supposed to be dinner and flowers.
yeah. This was the VA, a little different. So she hands me the pill and hands me this little cup of water. And I'm looking at this pill, and I swear the thing was 3/4 of an inch long and probably 1/4 of an inch around. And I'm going, I had throat surgery. She goes, yeah, I know, but you're supposed to be able to swallow this. Well, I tried. I couldn't. I was choking. She didn't have anything to get it out. So she reaches down on the tray, grabs the knife, yanks my mouth open and goes, thunk! Slams the knife back down, stomps out going, think I'll go get you the liquid version.
I have an issue with people coming at me with knives. Don't. Just
Oh, Tiffany, they gave you a tracheotomy? Ouch.
temporary one, hopes.
Yeah. That was an interesting evolution. Of course, that was after spending the night listening to some guy having flashbacks at high volume all night long. 2 beds over.
I will say, if you're in the hospital on morphine, save your writing.
Mhm.
It's weird, but you can write some really interesting stuff on morphine, or at least I can. So I won't ever publish it, but
Well, better you than a buddy of mine who had a surgery for diverticulitis,
you
and they gave him morphine. And he fantasized spiders.
well, Wayne, what is it with spiders and morphine? Because Wayne he wound up in ICU trying to die and wound up on morphine, and he wrote a pamphlet almost about how spiders and the CIA were related.
Yeah.
And Morphine's good stuff.
Yeah, they will occasionally grind stuff up and give it to you as a powder. They do that a lot in jails too,
Mm-hmm.
to keep you from trading
From cheeking the pills.
cheeking the pills, and or trading them for other things.
About the caffeine.
I wrote my first Smoggy Bar story while on morphine and Percocet passing the kidney stone.
Oh,
Oh, so that's what happened.
there you go. And the floodgates opened.
Next thing
Well,
I
the
know-
creative floodgates.
Yes.
Yeah, next thing I know, I got talking cats.
Yeah.
See?
Well, better talking cats than spiders,
Yes.
especially spiders that drop from the ceiling on him. Because I go to see him in the hospital, and he's constantly, doing this. And I'm going, Wallace, what are you doing? He said, it's a fucking spiders. What
Yeah,
spiders?
you get the itchies.
No, he thought it was spiders.
Yeah, but it's that itchy feeling, and people decide it's bugs or spiders.
No, he was visualizing
Oh,
spiders.
was he?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Good dose.
That would freak me out.
Oh.
Yeah, the child won't sleep. The mother goes nuts. The daddy goes nuts. Everybody goes nuts except the kid.
Who's already nuts? They're children.
Yeah, pain management is an interesting situation these days.
I've never hallucinated on pain pills. Well, I don't take pain pills, and unfortunately, I've had a lot of doctors to realize that I require the minimum dose that it's to be effective.
Yeah.
I do. A minimum dose of anesthetic is all I need. However, when they had to stuff me into a hyperbaric chamber for therapy, they had to give me tranquilizers because no. So they jammed me in this. I was in a hyperbaric chamber for 4 hours a day for a week for therapy, and they would give me the tranquilizer, and the lights would go out. But apparently, I was still talking, and the nurses and my family took great pleasure in telling me at length about the conversations I was having with a pink squirrel just outside the hyperbaric chamber.
Differs says she paid $27 for 60 eggs. That's a good price, girl. That is nothing to be sneezed at because a dozen down here is about $7
Oh,
right
and
now.
going up.
Yeah.
And also, not only that, but there's a limit on the number you can buy.
Yeah.
And why? Because the idiot government is whacking chickens.
100 million chickens killed. Yeah, RK, that's true. Gingers need more pain meds and more sedatives than other people.
From what I was told, gingers require more topical pain meds and less sedatives.
Yeah. It depends on the person.
Ted was talking about his kidney stone. I went in several years back with my first ever kidney stone. Yay.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And they give you the standard dose is Toradol and something fancy that's an opioid starting with P, I think.
Percocet.
No, the other one.
Well, they used to use Dilaudid. That's what I.
Dilaudid, that's
Yeah.
it. So I told them all I want is the Toradol. So they gave me the Toradol, and I was still in pain, but it was tolerable. So they said, "All right, you're getting the Dilaudid now." And as soon as she started pushing it, I yelled at her to stop because the world started spinning.
Yeah.
And she said there wasn't even enough to notate on the chart, but I was bubbling happily. I recovered from $60,000 worth of reconstructive surgery with Tylenol 3 and never felt anything.
Rita brought Ian over after she picked him up from the hospital. And this was like 4 hours later because it took 4 hours to get the paperwork done to get his ass out.
Yeah, no kidding.
And he's sitting in the chair going, it feels so good.
And that was the one shot of Dilaudid
Yeah.
that it wasn't even enough to register. And I spent 4 hours.
Audrey says, I do have a soul. It's in a jar on my shelf. Yeah, that works.
It's in the desk over there.
Yeah.
I take it out, look at it every now and then. It screams at me.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's different though. It's pain is different for everybody.
Well, they've actually tracked down on the genetic level why
Yeah.
it's different for redheads.
Well, not only that, but military people have a different pain
Oh,
threshold.
no kidding.
There was and it's not really a joke, but somebody was sending around last year a veterans pain scale, which was significantly different than what the normal pain scale is. And I went to the VA last year, and the provider, he was actually using the revised pain scale. She said, where are you on the veterans pain scale? And I'm like, oh, about a 4. She goes, shit. All right. More pain meds.
I love. There's a Facebook meme about the doctor asking how much pain are you in. You said the usual amount. The usual amount is 0, guys.
Yeah.
That's not a joke. I've actually done that. Walked in, Dr. T. How much pain you in? Are you in any pain? Well, usual amount. Usual amount's none, Ian.
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm about a 3, 4 normally.
You can actually get gene testing that will tell you what types of medications will work best with your genotype.
Yeah.
Really? I might ought to.
One I've seen is called Gene Sight.
Really?
That'll be worth checking out.
Well, when I was in ICU for the big accident, when I fucked up everything, I made them break the OxyContin in half. Oh no, it was wasn't Oxy, it was the other one. Hydrocodone. Made them break it in half. And I was, and folks, I was screwed up. And I was quite happily half a hydrocodone every 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours. And the doctor was losing his mind. Give him the full one. No, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Half of hydrocodone every 6 to 8 hours doing me fine. And I had bone showing.
19 kidney stones over 40 years. I am your painkiller sommelier.
Ow. God, that's too many.
I'll agree. Yeah. So, 6 had to be broken up. The rest came out on their own.
So you have a collection.
No, they keep them.
Oh.
Yeah, they want to test them, see what they are. They're always the same thing.
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah. A sharp rock.
I have a small bottle of Tylenol 3 that I grab when things get bad, and I've got a small bottle of Tramadol for when when I need longer lasting, and that's all I use. We've had bottles of Oxy and hydrocodone, and we've actually given them back. Who else in the peanut gallery? Ted and Laura.
Yeah.
Author, editor.
Yeah. There are, interesting you talk about Tylenol with codeine. That's what they gave me for this pinched nerve originally.
Mm-hmm.
And if I take it, I can't sleep. And I was having to take it every 12 hours.
Well, Rita can't take it. She's allergic to codeine.
Yeah. Well, I'm not supposed to be taking anything with Tylenol. So they gave me Tylenol with codeine. Yeah.
I can't have NSAIDs.
Yeah.
At all?
No, I had. So back in 2007, I weighed about 400 pounds. So I had gastric bypass surgery.
Okay.
And after you have gastric bypass surgery, no NSAIDs, no aspirins.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
Ooh,
because
that was
those will
screwed.
cause ulcers.
Wow, I'm screwed.
So I take Tylenol, and then when Tylenol won't work, I take
I thought Tylenol was an NSAID.
No.
No. Okay.
acetaminophen. It's not an NSAID.
Okay.
So I can take Tylenol, and then when it won't work, I have a prescription for hydrocodone to take that. Of course, my insurance company was constantly sending me information on pain management to get, well, you could take NSAIDs. No, I can't. I've had the conversation over and over again. Why I can't take everything on the counter except Tylenol and leave my, when it's really bad, pain medicines alone. Thank you very much.
Well, but today, everything is all about cutting out opioids.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my daughter is a now former paramedic. She was disabled on the job, and she has to fight every month to get the tramadol, which is the minimum that the surgeon said she could use. And she actually needed something stronger, but she won't use it because she said, I have to be a mother to 2 children, and I can't do that if I'm drugged up.
One of the funny things is I'm not. I can take acetaminophen, but I'm supposed to. If I can take naproxen, I'm supposed to take that because naproxen also on my chronic pericarditis. Naproxen,
Yeah,
treats that. So if I'm supposed to take something over the counter, I'm supposed to take naproxen. And please don't take acetaminophen. So I got a letter from my insurance company saying that they could. They recommended I take paracetamol from Canada. Paracetamol is acetaminophen. It's just with a British accent.
Yeah.
It's Tylenol overseas is called Panadol. It's morons.
Yeah. But the interesting part is she's on tramadol, but because she's on pain management in California, she has to get a blood test every month. Oh, for fuck's sake. To check and see if she's on anything else.
See if she's abusing them.
Yeah. It's every month.
I get treated the same way every time I go in. So my doctor can write a new prescription.
Yeah.
I get treated well. Testing like he's a drug addict.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though I'm getting just a very small supply, to tide me over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well, what drives me nuts is I used to be on injectable diabetic medicines. Thank God I'm off them. But also I'm off of them not my own choice because the Ozempic stopped working. So my doctor moved me over to Mounjaro. I was taking the 2.5 milligrams, working like a treat.
Yeah.
Insurance company said 2.5 was maintenance, not therapeutic, and wouldn't pay for it. But if you're taking it to lose weight, they'll pay for it.
Yeah.
mine won't. I've been trying to get on it, and they won't let me have it in any form.
Wow.
Damn.
I'm off of it because the injectable, whatever they're called, screws me up. Apparently, Ozempic's not supposed to stop working, but it did for me. And then one of the side effects from being on Ozempic for those years is I can't get full anymore. I don't feel full.
Yeah.
Rita and I went to Mexican joint last night, and we had fajitas for 2. And she ate about half her normal because she's recovering from the Mongolian rabies. So I ate hers and the chips and the queso, and I was miserably full and thinking about getting a hamburger on the way home.
This is how bad it is in California. Her husband is a diabetic,
Mm-hmm.
and they've got him on a pump and the sensors.
Okay, insulin pump.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
insulin pump. But they've been denied since January the 1st from getting them, even though they were priorly authorized. And they finally told him, it said because they didn't put in that he took insulin, but they were requesting the Omnipods, which you put the insulin in, and approved its insulin prescription, but would not approve the pump and the pods. So for him to go out into town and get it is $2,500 without insurance. So he's had to go back to finger sticks and trying to manage his insulin real time.
Yeah.
And
I have one of those continuous glucose monitors. I appreciate it.
Apparently, those things are great. The
Yeah.
constant with a pump and the glucose meter, apparently your quality of life goes way up.
But he
Fortunately,
works,
I'm type 2, don't have to worry about it.
he works in a warehouse. It's
Oof.
hot.
Ugh.
So the only place he can keep the insulin at work is he has to keep it in the refrigerator
Mhm.
that's in the main office,
Right.
which is a couple of 100 yards away. So she's gotten to the point now that she started putting the glucose. It's a glucose recovery drink
Okay.
in his lunchbox every day.
I've got 2 of those
Yeah.
just in case. As type 2, I probably won't need it, but every once in a while, I get dumb. I realize that's a shock to most people watching, is that Ian might get stupid every now and then. In case I have a stupid attack, and
Not more than once a day.
I'm a type 2. I was in the hospital for something, I forget what, and it was a sudden off to the hospital with you because, and they finger stuck me, which I despise, and my blood sugar at the time was 42, and my favorite ER nurse yelled at me.
My monitor goes off if it gets over 270 or under 65.
Yeah. RK says, unless your A1C is a certain level and you're on insulin, your insurance will not approve continuous monitoring. And she says she's controlled via diet and Trulicity.
Diet, exercise, and metformin.
Yeah.
And before she had the continuous monitor, her monitoring system was finger sticks and me telling her your blood sugar is too high or it's too low. And she gave me a dirty look. How do you know it's too high or too low?
Oh, trust me.
Yeah. and then she would check it and it would be, and then I get a secondary look.
And y'all have been together how long?
A really long time.
32 years this May.
Richard says, with blood sugar 42 is not the answer. You're correct. However, type 2s are not supposed to get that low. And apparently, it's not possible to get that low if you're a type 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom says, how dare you be right? Yeah. Ian was an LEO, so of course he has a favorite ER nurse.
Also, apparently, I'm the king of the stupid people.
Oh, Tiffany, your blood sugar was 20? Damn.
I had just
That's going to a coma stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding. I had that day. I'd had eggs and bacon for breakfast, and it wouldn't worked out. And I was lifting 270 for 3 sets of 5 on squats, and then I forgot to eat lunch, and I wound up in the hospital because I zigged when I should have zagged, and because it was a high stress and stress burn sugar. And Miss Sharon said, "You don't look good, Pop. It's 42, Ian."
Yeah, Cedar brings up a good point. A large percentage of the population cannot tolerate metformin.
Cheap and
cheap.
cheap and effective.
Yeah.
If you can tolerate it, it's effective. If you can't tolerate it, it doesn't do you any good. But
And
Cedar's on here. Sweet.
RK, only if a good writer like Kelly Grayson could take the story or 5 out of Ian's medical records. Yeah.
This is their king.
Kelly has plenty of stories. Trust us.
Oh, yeah.
We wasted another hour of your time, folks.
Oh,
And you mentioned bacon and eggs. Now I'm hungry.
well, go get some bacon and eggs. I apparently have to
lunchtime.
go do something. So I will, y'all be safe. Hopefully I'll see some of you in Dallas over the weekend. If not, then we'll see you Tuesday.
And remember, folks, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff.
And most of it's petty
Yeah.
stuff. So,
And stay warm.
yeah, no
For
kidding.
God's sake, stay warm.
But don't set stuff on fire unless they're politicians. Then knock yourself out.
Yeah.